Greetings, friends from Berlin, live from Germany and the International Conference of the World Council of Churches. Today, we are reflecting on the Berlin Conference of 1884-1885. During that conference, the European powers divided Africa without consulting with the African peoples at all. The conference shaped the future of Africa in so many different ways and caused deep and lasting harm. Today, we have with us 75 experts from around the world, politicians, faith leaders, theologians, advocates, experts on the topic of racism, discrimination, and all different forms of xenophobia that we are able to see around the world nowadays. We are also having with us more than 300 people that have registered to follow the conference online from all different parts of the world. This is a moment for us to face the truth, to see the history, to reflect on the 140 years that passed by from the Berlin Conference and visit the colonial legacies with all its implications, the anti-Black racism with a very deep mark that we see in history. This is a conference that is organized, as you have already seen at the World Council of Churches channels, by the World Council of Churches, but we also do have partners in Germany, Bread for the World, of course, EKD here in Germany, and the Association of Protestant Churches and Missions in Germany. At this point, we will talk with Dr. Masiva Rajes-Gunda. He is the program executive of the World Council of Churches, working on overcoming racism, xenophobia, and related discriminations. He is the one that actually organized the conference along with the steering committee from the partners that were responsible. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Gunda.
Thank you.
What was the rationale behind this conference, and what is the basic goal? What would you like to achieve as you complete this work?
Yes, thank you. Greetings, friends. The rationale is the reality of the continuing pandemic of anti-Black racism. Whether you're in Europe, in Africa, in North America, in Latin America, in Asia, in the Pacific region, in the Caribbean region, anti-Black racism is real. And as Christians, we are concerned that this reality challenges our belief and acceptance of the one body of Christ. The reality of the equality and equity of human beings is not being experienced by some people. And this was the thinking behind realizing that part of the feeding undergirding principles that sustain anti-Black racism fed the thinking behind the Berlin Conference 140 years ago, but were equally strengthened by the outcomes of the Berlin Conference. And therefore, we are gathering here to engage with the thinking behind the Berlin Conference, but also the outcomes of that Berlin Conference and how they continue to impact today's lives for Black people.
Thank you, Dr. Gunda. Just to remind to our viewers again that you are still able to register in order to fully participate at the conference online from like any part of the world you are watching us. You have full access at the agenda of the conference, while you're able to visit already the WCC webpage and see most of the keynotes and all of the speeches that have been delivered so far. So, Dr. Gunda, can you explain more to the people like following us now more about the structure of the conference as such, the profile of the keynote speakers, the participants, who are the people that are actually here, and what are these three streams discussions that we are following in parallel?
Yes, thank you, Sandy. So the thing is, the conference is structured as a three-step engagement. The first step is to remember the past. And we use remember, which is remember, but also an attempt to reconstruct and rewrite the past, re-understand it. So that's remembering what happened in the past. But we're also trying to reappraise. We don't live in the past that our ancestors were living in. How are we living today? And so we are reappraising what is happening today. And recent reports from the United Nations, from the European Union, do indicate that the outcomes and the experiences of Black people globally have gotten worse in the past decade. So this is an attempt to re-understand where we are today. So we are reappraising this present, but we don't want to remain here because we actually have younger people that still have a longer future ahead of us. So how do we begin to reimagine a different future with different opportunities and different outcomes for young Black people? So the third leg of this three-step engagement is a reimagination of the future. So this is what we're trying to do. Whom do we have in the house? So we do have ecumenical leaders from different ecumenical bodies. These are Christian organizations. We do have politicians amongst us. We do have some mandate holders from the United Nations among us. We do have university professors among us. We do have activists, advocates. So we have a cross section, and we have people that are old, retired, that have seen a lot. But we also have middle-aged people. We also have the young people in the house. And I am happy that even some very young people were online also following yesterday. So we do have a cross-section of people, and all of us, we are touched one way or the other by what we are discussing here.
Excellent. And how will you continue the work after the conference? Are we preparing with a communique, publication? How will we keep this momentum going, the discussion?
Yes, thank you. I mean, when we decided to stream live, it means at the heart of this is an attempt to communicate with the world. Beyond the ecumenical walls or circles, we want the whole world, because anti-Black racism is not just a Christian problem. It is not just an ecumenical problem. This is a global problem. And therefore, we hope that we will have a communique. We will have some kind of communication directed to the world, but that's not enough. You ask a very critical question. What's going to be the next steps? Is this one of those talk shows where we come, enjoy some few days in Germany, go back to life as it has always been? We hope not. We do hope that this, in a year that the WCC has proclaimed as an ecumenical year, that this will spur us to do more work, not only to say more things, but actually to use the outcomes of this conference into real actions that will be taken by our member churches, by the Secretariat based in Geneva, but by all our partners that are here present and those that are following us online. We can all do something, and the outcomes might actually become different.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Gunda. Just to inform, especially the young people and researchers that are following us from around the world, that they are able to contact you directly if interested, and if they want to go deeper on the topic of racism, xenophobia, and all related discriminations. Thank you, and all the best as you continue your work. Now we will welcome in a while Reverend Dr. Kenneth Matata. He is the World Council of Churches Program Director for Life, Justice and Peace. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Matata, today. And as we prepare for Dr. Matata, I will just share again information about the specific online web pages that you're able to use in order to register for the event. You are able to go directly at the World Council of Churches website. At the events section, you will see the Berlin conference information that are added there. You're able to register and follow online not only the keynote speakers, but fully participate in the stream discussions that Dr. Gunda described earlier. Also, very useful to know that participants are able to have a certificate of attendance, extremely useful, especially for younger researchers that go deeper into the topic. And we are absolutely able from Geneva to connect you with all the experts that are participating in the conference. So, Dr. Matata, thank you for being with us today, and we welcome you. Yesterday, in your opening remarks, you described the place, the specific place, as a crime scene. And you said, we are returning to the crime scene. Why is this language important, such a strong language important in actually describing the dynamics and the goals of this specific conference?
Yes, I think, thank you, Santi. It is very important for us to recognize Berlin as a crime scene, because this is where the 13 European countries met, including the United States, which is the 14th, to decide on the fate of Africa. It's a crime scene because it was here that the legacy of colonialism, which we are still struggling with today, was crafted and was formalized. But like I said yesterday, we do not want to lift up this crime scene as a crime scene, but we also want to see if this same place can be a place for transformation and for reversal of the legacy of colonialism. And so our coming here is in a way symbolic, in that we want to reenact what happened here, but in a way that is healing, in a way that is transformative.
Do you really believe that the churches can reshape, can help this reflection on like rethinking colonial legacies in a way that is not only innovative, I would say, but in a way that actually engages with the truth directly? We talk about justice and healing and reparations. Do you believe that churches and faith leaders are in a position to rewrite this history, become the voice of consciousness for the political systems?
And yes, I think there is on the one hand, it's a responsibility of the church. The church has a responsibility because it is complicit to this history. It was the theology of the missionaries that legitimated the colonial project. In other words, it gave ideological foundations on which colonialism found root, and how the colonial project was also a mind-shifting project. As such, the church has also a responsibility to use the same tools that were used to subjugate. The same tools can be used also to emancipate. And that's why the church has this responsibility. But the church has another responsibility because there is still lingering experiences of racial segregation within the church, but also in the context within the churches are planted. We heard from the presentations, people sharing their experiences of segregation in the churches, not only in the global south, where the segregation continues in some congregations where whites cannot worship with black people, but also in the global north, where the black people feel excluded. But at another level, it's a structural issue because the economies that benefit the global north were established during this colonial period. And the inequalities that were created at that time continue to privilege one part of the world. So the churches have got a very major role to advocate for global transformation. This is very hard because on one level, the churches are also beneficiaries. They are beneficiaries of this inequality. So it will require a lot of soul searching, humility, and repentance. And we have the tools. Christianity has the tools to deal with these ills because it's within our theological resources to draw from, and we can build on that.
Yes, and the spiritual, holistic approach that is so much needed.
Exactly.
And a last question, especially from like the leadership position in which you're serving in the World Council of Churches, are you able to share with our viewers insights about the strategies that the World Council of Churches and its partners have around the world on deepening this positioning of faith-based organizations in connection to these topics, especially in this current frame of extreme polarization, fundamentalistic and manichaistic readings of the world. What is it that we can say as faith-based organizations globally in the international affairs?
Yes, and I think this is it's a fundamental question in our time, because we are at a time where the imagination of the world is becoming more and more inward-looking.
Mm-hmm.
We can see nationalist tendencies developing all over the world. In other words, we are seeing the fragmentation of society. So the ecumenical vision, which the WCC stands for, has become an agent resource for our time. The ecumenical self-understanding of people of God, that even though we are located in different parts of the world, we belong together. This has become a very valuable resource which the church can use not only for itself, but also to share with the rest of the world. We can see how the multilateral system, for example, is threatened. It's because many are not seeing this vision in which we belong together. So all of a sudden, we are starting to see how much the church needs to go back and reclaim this resource of being internationalist in our thinking, globalist in our vision, and inclusivist in our orientation. We can see this coming back again. And that's why we are expecting to see the General Secretary this afternoon. We are expecting to see the moderator of the World Council of Churches this afternoon. And that's why actually the opening keynote address was by the former General Secretary, Dr. Conrad Reiser. It shows you how this is profiled. The vice moderator of the World Council of Churches is here. It shows how this is being taken as a key moment, a kairos moment for the ecumenical movement to influence the thinking in the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Mtata, for being with us. Thank you very much, Dr. Gunda, as well. Thank you, of course, to all of you following from around the world for tuning in at the Facebook page of the World Council of Churches. We will be back live at 6:45 later this evening, bringing more insights from this important conference. You're able to follow the World Council of Churches social media channels and receive the updates from the conference. Until then, see you soon.